What is up, homies? Welcome back to another reaction from Heroes Reforged. We are looking at the first look at Andy Muschietti's The Flash. After the reaction, make sure you guys stick around. We're going to be talking about some of the stuff that we saw, and very soon we'll be launching our brand new podcast, and on that podcast we'll be diving a little bit deeper into everything that we saw at DC Fandom, and also make sure you check out our reaction to the Batman trailer. I'm kind of just ready to jump into this bad boy.
I'm waiting for you to count down. I wasn't even going to say anything.
Alrighty then, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Tell me something.
Danny Elfman music in the very beginning.
Go anywhere you want, right? Any timeline.
That bassoon or that oboe is very
Any universe.
weird. Yeah. Ooh, is that his house? Is his mom in there?
Time traveling son of a bitch.
This guy's gonna ruin everything.
Fight to save this one. You changed the future.
Yep. Was
Hachi mama.
Was that? That's a good suit.
Oh,
Wait, that's not.
Are you in?
What?
Oh, come on!
What?
You cannot. It's like that. That's for sure the Batmobile.
Oh. That's Keaton's. That's got to be Keaton's.
Come on, man!
Oh my god!
Come on, man!
That's so good. Okay, so let's talk about what we saw first. Nothing. We know Keaton's gonna be in this, but
yeah,
we didn't.
He narrates the whole trailer. He talks about how
right.
Barry Allen can go across universe, across time, all these different things. It was cool to see this old Wayne Manor from the Tim Burton Batman movie.
Yeah.
You can immediately recognize it. The Batcave looks a little bit different than the 89 movie, but it also changed between 89 and 92. So, of course, if he's been Batman for 30 years, the Batcave is going to evolve. The suit is very different.
Yes. So the Flash's suit, I think, I didn't have any initial problems with the one we were presented with at first, but seeing it sleek like this, I think definitely fits the Speedster for sure. Because when I think of a Speedster, I think of, like, you know, the fastest men in the world, Olympic runners and everything like that. And they always wear like just skin tight, like everything is just formed to get out of your way while you're moving, right? And the previous one had a lot of armor in it, which I'm like, okay, but I feel like Flash would just, that stuff would just flake off of him as he's running. Which
I will give them credit. They did a good job justifying why he uses that kind of armor, because it's like space shuttle armor basically. And you're like,
absolutely
makes sense. He's gonna burn it up.
It absolutely.
You need something strong.
Yeah, you need something that's gonna withhold, you know, the high friction of whatever you're doing as a Flash, because I still don't fully understand how they move so fast. But I think this is really cool. I think they did a good tone of I did a good job of hitting a tone that makes you really excited, though, because we know this whole DCEU is kind of all over the place, and I think they did a good job of getting me excited for seeing whatever they're presenting next, especially with Ezra Miller. We don't know, you know, where they fall in this whole universe, and regardless of where they fall, I think this looks like a cool new project. And maybe it's not going to be super hung up on things that happened in the past. And that's what I'm really excited about. Yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see. It feels like, whether it's the intention or not, it feels like this Flash film is going to, in some ways, refresh or reset or restructure the DC film timeline, or at the very least justify why we won't see Ben Affleck's Batman and Henry Cavill's Superman moving forward. Because Ben Affleck's Batman is in this movie in some capacity. I imagine it's in the beginning before the Flash goes through the multiverse. And I think it's super fascinating that there are two Flashes in this film. There's the main continuity Flash from the DCEU, and there's also this alternate version of Ezra Miller's Flash, who his armor is spray painted, and it's spray painted from one of Batman's bat suits. Which I think is interesting. And then we also have Supergirl, obviously, who is not Henry Cavill's Superman's cousin. She's she's a Kryptonian from another universe. So I'm really interested to see how we balance Barry trying to save his mother, prevent her death, to ultimately save his father from going to jail, to then potentially how it resets the rest of the universe. And will that have a cascading effect on Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Shazam, these movies that have been technically interconnected, and Suicide Squad, you know, all that stuff. So I think there's like a lot of things that this movie has to kind of juggle. My hope is that it doesn't lose focus of Barry Allen's story.
Right. Because that's, I mean, it's a tricky thing to, even though we're barely getting introduced to the multiverse here and in Marvel stuff, it's a very tricky thing to be able to balance presenting a story that takes you into the universe and also not feeling like it's a cop-out. Like you're just going to say, okay, bye, everything we've done in the past, and then just kind of dump it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want it to feel that way, regardless of how I feel about the previous editions of the DCEU. I don't want a cop-out story. And I'm hoping that this story is not that. I'm really excited to see a different version of Barry and a different version of Batman, which is really cool. But you're right, it should not lose focus of Barry Allen and him being one of the most powerful beings in all of DC. Like the Speed Force encompasses every other force that happens in the DC universe.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's a good call to have the Flash and Barry be the center of kind of like this pivotal event that happens in the DC universe. But once again, please don't have it be a cop-out. Like I want to have it like a legit reason for this movie to exist.
Yeah, and I think the same goes for, you know, having Michael Keaton's Batman show up. Michael Keaton's Batman, for a lot of people who are our age, up to a certain point, that's their Batman. And next year when this movie comes out, it will have been 30 years since we've seen him in Batman Returns. I think that no matter what, people are going to show up to this movie with expectations of what they kind of suspect or expect from that Batman. And, you know, who knows? Maybe that Batman in 30 years has been through so much trauma and so much pain that he could fall into the line of like a Luke Skywalker type of character in The Last Jedi, where he's kind of jaded by everything. Maybe he is fighting crime, but a little bit differently. I think some fans will immediately have a knee-jerk reaction towards, because they're expecting to see the same Batman from 30 years ago. I think I will go into it with a little bit of more of an open mind, where if the Batman does questionable things, I have to understand I'll have to know a little bit of the context of the story to say it's justified because these reasons. I'm very excited to see how this team up goes.
I'd love to see a Batman not being Batman, just Batman just like, I'm not doing this anymore. I don't know why you came here. Here's my homie, Terry McGinnis, though. Y'all can rock it over here because you're in a different universe. There's nothing really stopping you from doing that. Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that could be presented here. And like I said, I hope they're all justified in existing and not feeling like a cop-out.
You know, and it's tough because it's a 80-second teaser. It's not even a trailer really, because the movie's still in production. So
can't really make judgments at this point.
Yeah, I have a feeling that we probably won't get the first full trailer maybe until the Batman comes out in March, because we're still pretty early days from when they finish photography. So until then, I'm going to continue to remain excited about the movie, excited about the project. I'm excited to see Supergirl. That will be really, really cool. And of course, seeing Michael Keaton as Batman is like, come on, man. You couldn't have asked for anything better.
Legendary.
Legendary. But guys, let us know in the comments below what you thought about this first look at The Flash, any Easter eggs that we might have missed, some of the comic books that you think that we'll be pulling from to tell this interesting new story. And what do you think? Do you think that this will reset the DCEU? Do you think it will add to it? Or do you think some characters may be permanently retired after this movie? Let us know in the comments below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll catch you guys in the next reaction. Bye-bye.